Reverb is one of the most important effects to add depth and flavor to your music. Just take a listen. But if you are not careful, they can get washy, muddy, and even can interfere with your sound. So today I share with you different ways to clean up your reverbs to get more clarity and a more professional sound. So let's go! The first step is knowing your reverbs. There are thousands, maybe millions, of reverbs out there. So of course 99% of the time we will use the same ones over and over again, because they are sounds that we get used to. For example, I really love this Marvel Foyer or the Lustrous Plates by Liquid Sonics. That way we also know the amount of signal to feed into the reverb, obviously depending on the source. If you are not careful, you can end up with something like this. Not good. So let's balance this mix and see how it works. Also, you might ask yourself which type to choose, because we have rooms, halls, chambers, plates, non-linear, experimental, whatever kind of reverb that exists. Now, if you want a video about types of reverbs, let me know in the comments down below. Making this video takes a lot of time, so it would be amazing if you give thumbs up, and not only that, if you subscribe to the channel. That way you can show your support. So one of the simplest ways to clean reverbs is to use an EQ. One of the most common ways to do this is the called AbnerWho technique, which is using a high pass and a low pass filter. Where you put it is totally dependent on you, on how it sounds better. This works because it takes care of the rumble and the muddiness of the sounds, and also on the sharpness of them. Also, reverb tends to get darker, so it makes sense we make these cuts. With this you can send some signals with bass information without worrying too much of messing with your low end, but of course you need to be careful. As you could see, I sent some of the bass to the reverb, but we didn't hear any bass frequencies. We only started to subtly hear the peaking of the bass. It can add more density, but you heard the rumble, you heard the muddiness, and that's not good for the mix, especially if you want to keep a clean low end. And that's the importance of EQ on reverbs. Sometimes you want a more noticeable reverb, so you add more length to it, and not only that, you feed it with a lot more of the main signal. For example, let's put another reverb for the vocal, and this time let's choose a hall and send the vocal to it. She was off like a prom dress, no regrets, doing things I'd never guessed. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but what if I like the tail of it when the vocal is silent, but the reverb is getting in the way of the vocal and is making a mess and everything more muddy? Well, in this case, you can apply sidechaining techniques. You just choose the input of the sidechain to be the vocal. Let's activate the sidechaining feature here. Let's start compressing. Wish that I would have been stronger. She was off like a prom dress. No. Wish that I would have been stronger. She was off like a prom dress, no regrets. We have the nice tail, but when he's singing, we don't hear too much of the reverb because the sidechain is activating the compressor, and the compressor is affecting the reverb. Every time that the vocal sounds, this reverb gets lower in volume. now it's going to be totally the opposite of this. Now I want to get rid of the tail, like the vocal has its own kind of space, but it doesn't interfere with other sounds. Well, again we choose a reverb and then we put a gate. This time we're also going to sidechain the lead vocal to this gate, because that way, as is the vocal what is opening or closing the gate, we are going to have more control on the release time. So that's it. That's how you make sure you will have clean and balanced reverbs in your songs. If you enjoyed this tutorial, give it a like, and it will mean a lot if you subscribe to the channel. Also check out my Patreon. I currently need your support so I can continue making videos. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.